What's up, humans and freaks? So here's what happened. Everything is all good. So I won, but it's basically winning by default because this was the last contest in the northwest part of the USA, the last contest of the season. And here's what I think happened. I think most of the Bantamweight bodybuilders, which is the class I compete in, Bantamweight, that's 143 pounds and under, I think most of them competed in all the contests earlier in the season. Because when I showed up, there was only one other Bantamweight bodybuilder in my class. And see, that's what I'm saying. With the amateur ranks, you never know what's gonna happen because it's the amateur ranks, you know. There can be a bunch of people that come in and compete, or there could be barely any. So in my class specifically, the Bantamweight class, there was only one other competitor. So what can I do? I can't force all the other Bantamweight bodybuilders in my region to compete, you know. But I think that's what happened, is I think they did all the contests earlier in the season, and I chose to do the last one of the season. So it is what it is. It's not really a win, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a win by default. You know, I only had one other guy in my class. But having said that, you know, I have no control over that. So, but having said that, you have to look at everything as a whole. So you just want to learn from competing. And as I've said before, there's many levels in bodybuilding. I'm just getting in at the entry level all over again, you know. So this contest, it's an amateur contest. It's a local, you know, regional contest. It's not like a big deal. It's entry level stuff. Now here's the thing. The main point from a competitive standpoint of me doing this contest was to get to what's it called? Hold on a second. Was to get to, oh, I thought they needed something. Anyway, the point of me going to this doing this contest was to get to the USA Championships in July of 2022, next year in Vegas. So that's gonna happen. That is accomplished. So the main point is accomplished. Just get me to the next phase, which is the USA Championships. But I wanted to do it in a fashion of beating, you know, at least, I was hoping at least 5 guys would be in my category, my class. 5 to 10, that's what I was hoping for. But anyway, it is what it is. So, what else was I gonna say? So yeah, the real test for me is gonna be in July, in 2022 USA Championships, because that's me going up against the best bantamweight and amateur bantamweight bodybuilders in the country. So that's the real test. So I got 8 months to get my butt in shape. 8 months. And I have I don't know why my car is being weird, malfunctioning. So for me, the takeaway is this, the big takeaway. There's many, but I did my own prep, you know, no coach, no guru, no team behind me, and I believe I brought, I think, my best, well, I don't think, I know, this was my best condition I've ever brought to a competitive stage, including my teenage years. For example, my quads, here's the thing, from the front, my quads need more size, I know that. From the side and the back, I'm happy with my legs. From the side and the back. But from the front, my quads need more size. But my quads were separated and had cross striations on them, which has never happened before. So I brought myself, you know, by myself in the best condition, I think, ever. So I'm happy about that. Now, what where I messed up is the posing. Okay, so this isn't the 90s or early 2000s anymore. So the bodybuilding and, you know, fitness world, there's a lot more categories now. So I don't think it was just me, but the judges were, and it's not their fault. I'm not complaining. This is no complaint against the judges. They didn't need to take their time. But when I was up there, I felt super rushed. Like inside, I was like, oh crap, I'm falling behind. Like, so for example, they'd call out the first pose, front double bicep. Okay, I'd do it, but then like right away they'd be like front lat spread. Now, how I practiced my poses was I practiced with the anticipation that when I got on stage, I would have to hold the pose for at least like, you know, 5 seconds maybe. But we were holding the pose, it seemed like for 2, maybe 3 seconds, and then it was like boom, on to the next pose. And I practiced my posing in a way where I would do transition poses leading into the next pose. So for example, if they say front double bicep, I do the front double bicep, and then they would say front lat spread. So you got to go into the front lat spread pose. And before I would do the front lat spread pose, I would do like a pose kind of like looking down, and it's a transition pose. So I would do this little pose in between the two poses, you see? They're called transition poses. But there was no time to do that. Not really. So anyway, I felt rushed, and I didn't feel like I was hitting my poses good at all. At all. Like when it was over, it was a blur, dude. Like it was just a blur. Because there was only 2 of us. The judges know. They probably knew as soon as we walked out who won without us even hitting a pose. You know, because they've been doing this forever. So they didn't need to take their time with us. There's only 2 of us. So they were just boom, 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 boom. All right, you're done. I was like, what just happened? So anyway, I need to work on, I had a lot of stage rust. A lot of stage rust. I mean, it's been a long time. So yeah, what I need to do in the next 8 months is more so than train in the gym and stick to the diet and all that stuff. I need to practice posing quickly, because I know that's probably how they're going to do it at the USA Championships, because there's so many different divisions and classes nowadays. See, like in the 90s and late 90s, early 2000s, there was just bodybuilding. And so that's what I still go into it with from my teenage years, where you could take your time and you could do transition poses in between the poses. But it doesn't seem like you can do that, at least not at this contest. So I need to watch, the USA Championships and Nationals and all the major national contests where you can turn pro at. Because, see, they got to get these shows done on time. So they were just boom, 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 really quick. And it messed me up. I was like a robot malfunctioning because I didn't practice that way. So when it wasn't happening the way I thought it would, I felt like super rushed inside. And so I didn't feel good at all hitting my poses at all. So anyway, whatever. I'll see when I'm going to get video of it in like a week. I think I get the videos. So I'll have to look that over. And then another thing, and don't take my advice on this, do as I say, not as I do on this. So my posing routine, here's the thing. I didn't practice it one time. Now they give you 60 seconds to do your own posing routine, 60 seconds to whatever music you want. And, so like a few weeks before the contest, I was like, all right, I got to start practicing my posing routine. Another week goes by, I got to start practicing my posing routine. And then I'm like, a few days before the contest, I'm like, okay, now I really have to start practicing my posing routine. And then, of course, I didn't do it. And then the day of the show, I'm like, okay, I'm going to practice today. Nope, didn't do it. So I didn't practice my routine at all. And here's the thing, though. Mentally, I was kind of going over in my head what I wanted to do for like a couple weeks off and on, just driving around. I'd be like, okay. So I did kind of practice it in my head. Now, how it turned out, the first 40 seconds were actually like really good, because because it was all impromptu, all just first time doing it. But I love the music, the song that I chose and everything. So I'm connected to it through the music. But so the first 40 seconds was great, but the last like 20 seconds or 15 seconds, I don't know how it looked to the audience, but me on stage, inside myself, my mind, I was lost. I didn't know what to do. So the last 15 minutes or seconds or so, I did stuff, but it was all like made up, totally like on the fly, like, because I didn't know what to do. I was lost like the last 15 seconds of my routine. So sometimes you can see that from the audience. You can see like, oh, this person they don't know what to do. They're lost up there. They're thinking about what they're going to do next. See, you don't want to ever do a posing routine where people can tell you didn't practice and you're thinking about what you're going to do next. You never want that to happen. So that's my bet. I mean, I totally, but hey, considering I know the first 40 seconds was great. And so that turned out great. But what else from the contest? Yeah, so I mean, overall, great. It was all good. I just wish more bantamweight bodybuilders showed up to compete. But again, like I said, this is just a stepping stone to truly test my mettle on the national stage. I've never been on a national stage before, so I'm really looking forward to that, excited about that. And that's where we'll see. I mean, that's where you can turn pro. So I'm trying to turn pro. If I turn pro my first time on a national stage, that usually never happens, though. You usually never turn pro your first time on a national stage. But I'm gonna go for it, and we'll see what happens. So, yeah, I hope at least, I'd say at least 5 to 10 bantamweight bodybuilders will be at the 2022 USA's in July in Vegas. So that's it, man. In the meantime, I got to practice my posing in the off season. Not just leading up to a contest. So, yeah, that's the main thing. I need to practice my posing and practice it quick, doing them quick. What else? Food, man. Whew. I've eaten so much food in the last 24 hours. Dude, that could feed a small village. So, for example, from Friday to all day Friday to Saturday morning, leading up to the contest, I had 8 cups of basmati rice. So I had 8 meals. I ate 8 freaking meals, dude, to carb up. 8 meals. And each of those meals had a cup of basmati rice. And they also had sardines. And the sardines are in olive oil. So I had protein, carbs, fats, a good amount, 8 times. Dude, my appetite is out of control right now. It's insane because my metabolism is so fast. It's just firing. Everything I eat just burned up, which is how it's supposed to be. So after the judging in the Saturday morning, I went to Five Guys and I had a double bacon cheeseburger, a small Cajun fry, and I got another one. This is a chocolate Oreo shake from Five Guys. So check this out. I had that after the judging in the morning, and then after the night show, which got over a few hours ago, I came back to Five Guys again, and I got another double bacon cheeseburger, another Cajun fry, and another Oreo peanut butter shake. Guys, dude, you don't understand. And I still feel like I haven't even eaten anything. It's insane. My appetite is insane right now. So, yeah. So, all right. So to wrap it up, Sunday, tomorrow, I'm supposed to shoot with a local photographer in my home gym. So I'm going to try to get some good workout photos. Yeah. Looking forward to that. So, all right. So, yeah, all good. Contest, it's all good. The only complaint I have is, and I can't control it, is that more bantamweight bodybuilders weren't there to compete. But thankfully, at least one showed up. So, all right, guys. Remember, John 3:16 to verse 21. Jesus Christ loves you, died for you, and rose from the dead for you. God bless.